Let's open the book on this. Today in Los Angeles, a toddler in Santa Clarita ran into a rattlesnake hiding under an Amazon package. And yeah, that's exactly as scary as it sounds. Public safety is front and center today.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. Quick headlines, then we dig in.
I'm Leah. Thanks for rolling with us in Los Angeles.
And I'm Garrett. This is Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, Los Angeles edition. First up, Santa Clarita, a 3-year-old named Addie was bitten by a rattlesnake that was tucked under an Amazon package on the family's porch. This happened in July 2026. She was rushed to the hospital, and doctors gave her multiple doses of antivenom. Antivenom is medicine that neutralizes snake venom, the toxic fluid a snake injects. It doesn't undo damage already done, but it helps stop further tissue injury. Officials say rattlesnake activity this year is up because unseasonably warm weather has snakes moving earlier and wandering into yards.
That's so wild. Real talk. Rattlesnake season in California runs April through October, so we're in the window. The state usually sees somewhere between about 290 and 390 bites a year. For folks in the foothills and valleys around Los Angeles County, Santa Clarita included, awareness is everything. Look before you reach, shake out shoes left outside, and check around packages or doormats. If a bite happens, call 911 and try to stay calm because movement spreads venom faster.
Yeah, that checks out. Also, keep pets leashed on hikes, and if you hear a rattle, back away slowly. No sudden moves. I'm down for that simple rule. Hoping Addie's recovery keeps trending the right way.
Okay, let's move on. From a household safety concern to a heartbreaking incident of gun violence. A young mother in South LA lost her life while sleeping next to her baby. A young mother, Maria Barrios Ventura, 20 years old, was killed by a stray bullet while sleeping next to her baby in July 2026. A stray bullet means a shot that wasn't aimed at her. It came through the window from the street. She leaves behind a 1-year-old child. The Los Angeles Police Department is investigating and, as of now, no suspects have been identified. The family is raising funds for funeral costs and child support, and much of her family's support network is in Guatemala, which makes this even harder.
That hits different. It underscores the ongoing gun violence problem here. For the little one left behind, community stepping up matters, whether that's neighbors checking in, local groups offering help, or simply sharing verified information from the police. If anyone saw or heard something, this is the moment to talk to investigators. Even a small detail can point them in the right direction.
Why does this keep happening? What's the core driver here?
It's a mix. Disputes on the street, easy access to guns, and shots fired without regard for who's nearby. It's complex, but the human cost isn't. A family is shattered. That's the bottom line. Speaking of investigations, next up is a wild capture story with corporate angles. Federal authorities say they caught Ronald L. Fisher, who had been a fugitive for 21 years. He was living under the name Richard Graydon and working as an executive at Imix Biopharma in Los Angeles. Biopharma is a company that develops medicines using biological science. Back in 2005, Fisher disappeared during his rape trial and was convicted in absentia, which means the court found him guilty, even though he wasn't present. Investigators say he used more than a dozen aliases and lived large as a world-traveling yachtsman. His arrest is raising questions about how he got hired at that level.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Background checks are supposed to catch this. A thorough background check, sometimes called due diligence, is when an employer carefully verifies identity, past employment, and criminal history. If someone can slip through with multiple fake names, that suggests gaps. Corporate responsibility here means companies taking real steps to verify who is in leadership, especially when they handle investor money or public-facing science.
That's a solid point. I'm not going to lie, this one's a curveball. If a person can reinvent themselves as a yacht-owning exec for 2 decades, that's not just luck, that's systems not catching what they should. Expect a lot of HR policy reviews after this.
Switching gears just a little. A nonprofit called A Step to Freedom, which provides housing and support services, grew rapidly with taxpayer funding. but more than $1.7 million over 3 years went to companies owned by its chief executive, Kenya Kroom. She says her companies offered lower costs than outside vendors. The concern is conflict of interest when personal financial gain could influence decisions that are supposed to benefit the organization. The nonprofit's recent tax filings didn't clearly disclose her ties to those companies. Also notable, her sister is the board's treasurer. For context, this group went from $25,500 in revenue in 2018 to more than $5 million by 2024, operating 6 housing sites. In 2023 alone, nearly $500,000 went to the CEO's companies. Whether those contracts were truly cost-effective is disputed. Experts say even the appearance of self-dealing can erode trust. And homelessness funding in LA is under heavy scrutiny already.
Transparency is the anchor here. If there's a legitimate reason to use an insider-owned company, document it, disclose it, and get independent board oversight. No stress. Those steps aren't exotic. They're basic governance. When public dollars are in the mix, the bar goes up, and it should. On to the next thing. Switching from local oversight to national policy, a new federal rule finalized this month will cut off federal student loans for college programs where graduates consistently earn low incomes. Think cosmetology programs, certain arts tracks, and even parts of the mental health field. The Education Department hasn't released the final list yet, but analysts expect around a third of programs at for-profit schools. Those are colleges run as businesses, could fail the standard. About 4.2% of students who get federal loans are in programs likely to miss the benchmark. Supporters call it overdue accountability. The idea is simple. If a program leaves most graduates with low earnings and heavy debt, taxpayers shouldn't keep funding it. Critics push back that tying education to a paycheck alone can punish fields society needs, like social work or counseling, where pay is often lower. It's also happening against the backdrop of a national student loan default crisis, where borrowers fall seriously behind and stop paying.
Let's dig deeper into this one. If you cut loans to low-paying fields, don't you risk shrinking the workforce in areas that serve our mental health and community care needs? Why set the measure just on earnings and not also on job impact?
The short answer is, it's easier to measure pay than social value. Earnings are a clean number. Impact is messier. How do you score the value of a school counselor who steers teens through a crisis? That's worth exploring, and some programs may adapt by lowering tuition or by showing better career outcomes to stay eligible. Public and nonprofit institutions are generally expected to be safer here, but we'll have to see the official data.
And that's where we'll leave it for now. LA, thanks for being with us today.
So there we have it, full circle. Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Los Angeles. Stay informed. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates.